All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z. Gibby is back as well. Gibby! God, going to be a long run for the three of us all together here.
Boy, just one huge thing.
I can't believe you're leaving.
Your timing couldn't be better.
This is
it. That's it. Yeah. Got to go. I got to go. Great start to the week, but it looks like it's all trending down starting tomorrow.
I think after today, it'll be April before we come close to this again.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. I have a question for you both. I have told you my tales of, recanted my tales of woe in traveling, which are extreme, and I think probably I would think atypical, but I know you've been through a bunch of them too, so maybe they're not so atypical. Maybe it's just the standard approach to travel now is you just hope things go right and
absolutely
expect that they won't.
If you go to and from someplace, 50% on time is like a win.
That's a win, yeah.
2-0, a sweep on times there and back is you're dancing in the streets. And somehow yet they say their on-time ratings are between 80 and 90% for every flight when you look, what's all right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
seem like it.
The math ain't mathin'.
So I got direct into Los Angeles tomorrow, okay? Flight leaves at 7 a.m.
That's a great flight. You're going to land at around
9:30.
Yeah, I used to do that back in the day for my my programs out there.
Right. It is spring break, and my guess is a lot of people are probably already traveling yesterday, today. I'm guessing a lot of people are jumping.
It's going to be
chaos.
Insane at the airport at that time.
I think so, too.
For some reason, they schedule now every flight leaves between like 6 and 7.
Yeah, it's how it is. Okay. So I have, because of this, and some of this is just foolish from a financial perspective, but I have taken every precaution possible so that this goes as smoothly as possible. So we have clear. Everybody's got clear. Everybody's got TSA pre. We're all TSA pre'd.
That's gonna be. Actually, in LA, that could be okay, too, that combo.
Yeah.
Clear in Cleveland is the best thing going. Nobody get it. It's the best thing going. Nobody uses
thanks
it.
for telling everybody.
I mean,
I said nobody get it.
Yeah.
But in other airports, it is not as joyous.
But the combination usually of clear and TSA pre,
that's a very nice
as
thing.
good as you can get, right?
It is. As a mere mortal. Yeah.
So I have also, I'm to the point now where I just do a driver because there was a point where I tried to park in the garage at Cleveland.
Me, brother. I'd have driven you.
Well, be careful what you wish for because you may be.
Okay.
So we leave tomorrow at 7. The driver we normally lose, great guy, used him for a lot of years. He has a drop-off of another family at 4:40 a.m. So it's about a half hour from our house to the airport, a little more. So that means he would be at our house at 5:15-ish.
Yeah, early.
Somewhere in there. Now, we fly at 7. We board at 6:20. Gate closed 6:45. TSA pre-clear, is that enough time?
In Cleveland?
Yeah.
Yes. If we were in LA, I would say no.
You think in Cleveland it's enough?
You're going to arrive at the airport?
Theoretically, I should get there before 6.
5:45?
Theoretically, before 6.
I'd back out to 5:45. You want to be there at 5:45.
That's what I think, too, and I don't think we can get there by 5:45.
I think you can.
I think it's everything, but I'm now relying upon him and the previous family who's dropping off at 4:40 being on time and having it all line up.
Well,
there's no wiggle room.
The unknown
here
is the family beforehand.
What if
that's not Jim's problem.
What if you schedule an Uber Black and schedule it?
So those are the other options. So I can either valet at the airport. Like if all goes to hell, I'll just valet it at the airport.
Yeah.
To heck with it. We'll just do that because I think the garages are going to be full.
So I can
leaving
recommend
on a
this.
Thursday?
There is a brown lot that's on the other side of 480 underneath on Riverside. No. The shuttle's right there. It's cheap, and
I think my problem though is I've got 5, and I just am worried about waiting on a shuttle. I'm going to be annoyed.
Here's the move. If you drive, if you end up having to drive, which I think is totally fine. You drive. You come up. You drop
all off.
Amy and the kids and all the bags.
Yeah,
off. You have
We're
them,
all by the way, all carry on. No one's checking.
Oh, so have them
and
have them take your bag as well. So they get off. You go around and then you go up here before you go back around. There's that one right across from what used to be the United, where it used to be the main at the end. You can actually take that ramp up.
Okay.
Go in there, get your ticket. If you can find parking right there, it's so easy. Then you just walk right back down that ramp and you go right in the concourse, and it couldn't be easier. And that's the second level. If there is anything on the second level, try to go up to the third, and then you can take the thing over. But if you come, you drop them, you zip up right there, you park right there yourself,
I'm going to have to get an overhead.
You're golden.
That would be
Is
it.
that the orange lot?
No, it's the main lot. Is that
the main garage?
I'm like the lot that's attached to the concourse.
That's the garage, right?
Yeah, the
You're talking
garage.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
the
I
orange.
can get in
that's
there.
The orange lot.
I can get in there.
Yeah,
There's
so-
a red and a blue on the right as
You
you're
don't
coming
want- no.
in. That's usually full, and now it's like $22 a day to park over there.
Yeah, but I would
not
imagine
ideal.
when you're talking about a car service to and fro. That's not a bad.
Well,
deal.
and I'm even open into the valet, and I think that's $37 a day. So, like, I mean, whatever needs to do. I
Yeah.
just don't want. I understand. This is going to be a big loss for me, but I just don't care. I want the peace of mind.
I think you. What's your door to airport? 30, 25?
No, it's more like 35. I would say.
Okay, so I think you need to play. You need to have a 5:10. Leave your house 5:10
Yeah,
deadline. If the guy's there at 5:10, great. If he's not, then you roll
because that would theoretically be 5:45.
5:45.
So that's an hour and 15 minutes, and we have own bags, clear, pre. We should be good.
You're gonna be good in Cleveland. I mean, even if you got there at 6, you're gonna be good.
You've seen you've flown on some of these spring break though days. I mean, it's nuts.
It's not clear though. Cleveland is not a clear town.
The last time we did clear,
I've never waited for clear, and when we went to Puerto Rico, we had an early flight.
yeah.
The gates on this side, the line was all the way over to Delta. Not to mention the one coming out was all the way over to Delta, and on clear we walked through as though there was nobody there.
So the last spring break when we did Hawaii, we went through and there was probably 35 people in the clear, 35 or 40 people in the clear lane at TSA pre,
Yeah.
both. So like I was like, whoa, a lot going on. I also think they don't know where to go because they have the clear and the TSA pre at the same thing. So there's some people. There's this poor. I'll never forget this poor family. Like they thought they were in TSA pre and they were in clear.
Okay.
And so they had to, they didn't have clear, but they thought just TSA pre was enough, and it wasn't.
No.
And it was like, oh, no, now go clear down to that end.
Yeah.
Good luck. Brutal.
And the clear with TSA, I think, is in the middle.
It's in the middle. Yeah, it's in the middle.
Sometimes the clear non-TSA is faster in Hopkins.
Only thing there is now I'm taking off shoes, I'm taking off belts and all that, whereas the other one I'm just walking.
Sometimes you never know. But yes.
Yeah.
I hear you.
All right, so that's where I'm at. It might just be the Uber Black play. That might be it. Like, just schedule that.
Schedule that, and then you have the backup. Because this guy, I would imagine, he gets there at 5:20, he's not going to be like, oh, well, now it's free for you.
No,
you can
of course
just
not.
leave.
Yeah, no. Now, we know him a long time. Good dude, and he's driven.
I'm sure he's a tremendous man.
Yeah, but that's where you're at. I think a pretty calm dude in all, and I can thrive in an airport chaos. I've had to do it a lot, so I kind of know the steps to thrive in it. But when you have 5, it's just if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
you lose a vacation. Like you lived it with Orlando when you took the kids down. Like you miss a flight, and it's like, well,
Or you board the flight, and then they say, sorry,
can't
no
do
pilots.
it.
We'll get you there 4 days later. Oh,
How about that? Can I interest you in that? 4 days later?
Well, so we came home yesterday, and I think we caught it on a good day because I think spring break season, you got people traveling like you, Thursday,
Friday, yeah.
and then the following Saturday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Like they go for a week. So like that middle of the week is perfect. But there were easily 12 to 14 people that were on our flight yesterday that got canceled Sunday night because of all the weather up here. That were like, yeah, this was the earliest we could get out.
I think that Wednesday is the sweet spot, and if you look at the prices of flights,
It reflects
it
that.
would say
Tuesday
so.
and Wednesday would be the time where you could do spring break for about half as
Yep.
much. This is also my time of the year when I like to point out that it would be nice if Ohio did spring break maybe different than everybody else. Maybe paratroop that sucker in like the third week of April or the third week in February.
I'm for it.
And let's just be away from everybody else. Like, let's not shoehorn it in March with everybody else so we get gouged on everything.
Let's be different.
leaders, Ohio.
Heck,
Boy.
let's do it in February.
This is a hell of an outfit Miz is wearing at this Pro-Am that you just retweeted.
Yeah. I got to call him today.
Where is he? Where is this?
It's a Champions Tour. Must be out in L.A. He played a round of golf that we've been playing phone tag that I want to talk to him about, where it was him, Joe Hayden, Nick Chubb, and Josh Allen.
Him, Joe Hayden, Nick Chubb, and
And it
Josh
was to raise
Allen.
money for the fire effort
Oh,
in
that's
L.A.
awesome. Wow. That's
Yeah.
a group.
No, I'm eager to hear that
Yeah.
story. By the way, The Miz wouldn't exist were it not for this man, George Mazanin. Father, happy birthday.
Oh.
It's his birthday today.
It's his birthday today.
The great George Mazanin.
The great George.
Yeah.
What a moment.
Guy's
I look forward to seeing him in London because we see him on some random Browns trips.
He was talking about it. I was talking with him the other
Yeah.
day. He was talking about London.
I just remember walking into Vegas. I'm like, oh my God.
There he is.
So I had
In
dinner
his
with.
glory.
I was like, me and George. George was in it. My guy Dave, Rickenbaum. Those are my people, man.
Yeah.
George was in it. The heck of a guy. He is a legit guy's a card shark, and I guarantee for his birthday he's going to get himself in some games. They're going somewhere to some casino, I think. East.
What's his game of choice?
Poker. He's a good poker player.
Good poker player.
Yeah.
Very good.
You don't want to try to
don't want any
bluff
part of that.
George Mazanin.
Not having it.
No. It seems like he would be. I think he's as good at cards as the original Gemstone, Elijah Gemstone.
Did you see the second episode
Not yet, but it looked like much more
more of what you want. Yeah. I think it's probably the biggest difference when you think of it's interesting like what they have turned Baby Billy into smartly from what he was originally.
Hey, he was a punk.
He was a total jerk. Yeah, and wanted to
Terrible
do incredible
things.
harm.
Yes.
No more.
No, he just wants to thrive.
Yeah, but now he's thriving in a way that he's got his full ego back.
I want him.
So
I want him
he's-
unfettered, unchained.
He is just. And by the way, the getup that he's in the first time you see him
I can't wait.
is and the sunglass choice. Do you remember a year ago when I sent you a picture? I was in the desert and I sent you
Yes,
the
of
picture
the
of the
man.
guy.
Yeah, I do.
The glasses.
He is that guy.
I think he's going for. I think this guy's going for the look.
Well, it sounds like this guy was the leader. He was a look leader.
So I'm pretty sure that that photo. I know exactly where it is. That photo that I took from that sushi joint we were eating at in Palm Desert. It's the glasses that are the same glasses that Baby Billy is wearing. Look at this.
Yeah,
It's the same
Uncle
one.
he's unbelievable. Yeah.
It's the same one that he's wearing in the episode. The
I
big
love it.
square. So you have that to look forward to. I watched that last night.
By the way, what just a juxtaposition of what Goggins was going through on Sunday night in White Lotus and the stories he was being told to thriving as Uncle Baby Billy on the same night.
From 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, it changed a lot.
Changed a great deal.
Very
By the way, I
different.
did see the clip of when they're on the boat in their ridiculous like sailor outfits.
Yeah.
And he's saying the Tom Hanks movie, and they're like, this one. He's like, no, the one where he's by himself. He's by himself, and nobody can think of it.
Can't get it.
Yeah.
Kelvin gets it. He's real proud
Does
of
he get
himself
it?
when he
He
finally
gets
gets
it,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why I can't even think of it right now. Just think, I know Wilson is the ball.
Yeah. Castaway.
Castaway.
Oh, you were
Yes.
asking.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was thinking.
Castaway. Yeah,
Lost
yeah.
was coming in. I knew the Lost was
Yeah.
the TV show.
All right. It is. We have some. Devin Bush is in the building today to sign his 1-year contract extension. He's going to join the program a little bit later on. So you have that conversation to look forward to, which is very, very nice. 36 days from the draft. I'm going to be honest with you, buddy. It has been a quiet last week.
Well, we've talked about it. This is the only time where
It's
everybody's had
just-
their own pick. The only time there hasn't been a trade.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's
It's all
It's
quiet
wild.
on the quarterbacks. It's all the league is at a standstill at the moment.
Well, and it sounds like we got a domino that is going to fall, though, right?
I don't know. Do we? I bet on the way over here I didn't see. Do we have?
Well,
something?
just this morning that Minnesota publicly said we are
No kidding.
out on Aaron Rodgers.
What did we just say? We just said this yesterday or Monday.
Yeah.
We outlined the Rodgers thing. Like he floated it out there. I'd sure like to play in Minnesota. If that was reciprocal, then they would have had him signed by Saturday.
Yeah.
Like he went public or had it get public that he wanted to play in Minnesota, and it might be Minnesota or nothing. Minnesota found out about that and said, yeah, we're good. We're good. So once that happened, now it's just a matter of if he wants to play football, it's in Pittsburgh or New York. There's no place else.
That's it.
So that's the situation.
What it seems like, anyway.
So when we were doing this, I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday show, we did I think it's more likely that he doesn't play than that he plays now.
To me, it feels like he's either going to sign with the Steelers imminently or that's it. I don't see, and I'm
After the
happy
Cam
to be
Hayward
wrong,
comment?
but I don't see any situation where he plays for the Giants, do you?
No.
But the Cam Hayward comment is maybe he has a little respect for that. Sometimes people
Yeah. Speak truth to power.
Yeah, when's anybody talked to him like that? In New York, they basically catered everything to him, brought him everything, and that didn't work.
They basically treat him like he was an owner.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Like he was the king.
And Woody Johnson took that very personally.
He did take that
MJ.
personally.
Took it very, very
By the way, we got an Instagram post that has sent everybody in Browns Nation into an absolute frenzy.
I missed it. Tell me.
You missed it?
Yeah.
So Cam Ward apparently is in somewhere with the Chief. Are they in Florida, G-Man? I feel like G-Man's going to have all the information on this.
Well, that would make sense. They're
He
both
comes in
you
and-
guys.
The first we're all hearing of it, too.
He always comes in a big way.
He always comes in a big way. I would think it's got to be. I mean, that would make sense.
I
Chief played
retweeted
to
it.
you.
I retweeted it. You don't follow me on
retweeted it?
social, so that's not helpful for you, per
No,
se.
that doesn't. Although, interestingly enough, I did see your retweet of the
Miz.
The Miz. So I don't know how I'm seeing
Here it is. It's right there. So here.
Must be like
He walks in to see Chief,
Come talk to me nicely.
and then Cam Ward walks in and goes, Cleveland, Cleveland. It's on,
Oh, they're
it's
like
on Chiefs Insta.
inside.
It looks like they might be in the CBD studio.
Yeah, kind of does.
And he comes in and he goes, Cleveland, Cleveland.
Oh, baby.
Oh, the people are going to like that one.
There you go.
Look at G-Man. Look at the smile on his face.
He's really jacked up.
He's all fired up.
Where are
Gibbe's
they?
fired
They're
up.
obviously at Miami.
He's
doing
tanned
something.
and beautiful.
Yeah, he is all tanned up. He's all
Cleveland,
slicked up.
Cleveland.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
Let's go.
That's exciting. We also have some thoughts on the quarterback situation from various experts, Mel Kiper, Albert Breer among them. Let's start with Mel, who he feels is QB1 here. This is on First Take.
I'm going to go Shador Sanders. I'm going to be steadfast in that. I've had him number one, QB1 all along, really since last year, and love everything about the kid. I mean, people say, well, he takes too many sacks. Yes, he has to get the ball out a tick faster, but he dealt with NFL conditions. Shannon, Stephen A., we talked about that. Who had to deal with what you're going to deal with in the NFL, what you're going to have to survive in the NFL? He survived hit after hit. How he did it, I don't know.
So he is still on Team Shador. There were others, too. A couple others.
It's funny because Mel's got a teleconference going on right now.
Uh-huh.
He just said there are two perceived special players in this year's draft. Could others become special? Yes. But who's currently expected to be generational? And he says Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's all over the
So
place.
funny how they think that I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. He was an off-ball linebacker, and they turned
A
him
year ago.
to a D end. And so, like, this isn't a Miles. This isn't a Bosa situation.
It's
where,
more of a
where you
Parsons.
came in. It's more of a. I think that's why. I think he's getting the benefit of the doubt for that. Happened with Baron Browning, a kid at Ohio State too. Now plays for the Broncos, but he was an off-ball linebacker. They waited too long to turn him into a defensive end, and he turned into a defensive end in the league. They actually did it now.
Actually signed a decent contract.
He
I think,
did,
just
yeah.
now.
They just did it now with a kid named C.J. Hicks down in Columbus. They took he was a 5-star linebacker. I want to say at a Kettering Altar in the Dayton area, and had been a linebacker. And then this year they put him at defensive end, and he looks like he's looking great through 2 practices. So this is something that happens. Here is Kiper on what stands out about Shador again from First Take.
To me, when you look at Shador, accuracy, slip and slide in the pocket. Yes, he can get you a 3rd and 8 first down. People say, well, he's going to run the 4.8s. Patrick Mahomes ran 4.8, 4.84. He doesn't have an explosive arm. Neither did Johnny Unitas, Peyton Manning. Okay, we talk about explosive arms. You know, you don't need to have that. Tom Brady, another one, didn't have the explosive arm or explosive legs at 5'2", 440. So you can win in the NFL, win big in the NFL, going about your business like Shador Sanders does.
Go ahead.
So I think that there are a couple of things, and this is one of the things that I talked about with Greg Cosell at the Combine, and love talking with Greg, is that he said if I was doing this 10 years ago, Shador would easily have been the number 1 quarterback for me this year. But his feeling is that the NFL game has changed so much that second level plays or off structure plays are so necessary due to the advancements that defenses have made in their ability to blitz from all 3 levels of the defense and the challenges it has created for offenses to pick those up. And so he said, if we're operating in just this is going to be a traditional NFL pocket situation, that Shador would be number 1. His concern with Shador is I don't know how many of those kind of plays he can make. Now, I thought that his tape showed a great many of those because his line did not block for him at all.
No, not much.
that is part of the evolution of the game. Now, I think that you look around the league and you would say to yourself, and I think rightfully so, there are some schemes in the NFL that are much more Superman kind of dependent, or you have guys who are just, that's what they are able to be and able to do. And you think of, Josh Allen, I think would be that in just about any scheme, but you want him playing in a scheme like that gives him the freedom. You want Lamar Jackson, who has elevated his passing significantly since coming in the league and is one of the most dominant forces in the NFL, period. But then there are guys who are going to thrive much more in a scheme where it is, from the pocket. You think of what the 49ers run. You think of what the Minnesota Vikings run with Kevin O'Connell. You think about the Rams with Sean McVay. You think about us going back to our real roots with, Kevin Stefanski's offense, kind of in that Shanahan, Stefanski, McVay, Kubiak tree. And even the Saints ran it last year with Derek Carr, where you have guys who can become very explosive and very productive in those systems if they're able to be good processors, be accurate, and win from the pocket. And so I think, as I've said all along, I still think Cam Ward is the biggest ball of clay. And if you believe that you have the best ball of clay, if you have the coaching staff that can maximize his gifts and tailor them, tailor your offense not to just what you want it to be, but also to what he does well and allow for those chunk plays to happen and hope that you can coach him to take some of the layups. It feels like that's a reasonable thing to think you could do. That's why I think he's probably the better overall prospect. For what we do right now, though, I think Shedeur Sanders' skill set allows for him to come right in and play at a very high level. I think that is one of the differences. And look, we've seen teams be incredibly successful running this style of offense. Mm-hmm. That's the reality of it. And I would even go so far as to say, we've heard people say he is, kind of Stroud or Burrow-like in the sense that that's the kind of distributor he would be as a quarterback in the league. Burrow got a little bit better, honestly, in Cincinnati when they stopped just being nothing but shotgun spread.
Yeah.
And they got him under center a little bit, mixed in some play action with Chase Brown, used more motion, some of the concepts that these other offenses were using, and he became less predictable. Their offense became less predictable, and he obviously had the best year of his NFL career last season. So I think that we are in a very good spot. Again, I've said all along, I think you have got to come out of this with a quarterback, and I'm fine with it being multiple, as I've said that at the beginning. I'm fine. Now there's all this Joe Milton talk going on right now.
Is there?
There is, yeah. Brian Hoyer today, former Browns quarterback, who was with and is with the Patriots broadcast network and does stuff for the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
He's all in on him. He said that he thinks he would be the number one quarterback in this draft, based on what he's seen from him in the year that he had. Now, he only played one game.
Wildly inaccurate.
In college. He was a 6th-round pick.
At Michigan and at Tennessee.
Tons of gifts, no doubt.
Physically can throw it 1,000 miles, but
tons of
wildly
gifts.
Inaccurate.
And he had a good game against the backups of the Bills, who are not in any way, shape, or form trying to win that game. Now, those are guys on a 53-man roster in the league. It's not, but there's a difference between full sale backups and starters in the National Football League. But look, if now, the other thing that's interesting is he said, the rumor is they're asking for a 3, which means they would take a 4. Like, if you have belief in him, by the way, I feel like we would have had tremendous knowledge about Joe Milton, given that he played at Tennessee.
Yeah.
It just feels like we'd be fairly plugged into what that was. Went in the 6th round last year. If you do believe that he's learned something in the year there, by the way, who his offensive coordinator was last year, and I'm not saying that necessarily ended on the best terms here, but I would imagine we'd be able to get a decent read from Alex Van Pelt on him still. If you want to trade a 4th-round pick for him, and then you'd have, Cam or Shedeur, Pickett, and Milton, 3 bites at the apple, cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. We need to get this position solved, and it's only going to come from somebody on a rookie contract. That's the only way it's going to be solved long term.
Yeah, for sure. I also think you have to remember, just from the perspective of content, Shedeur Sanders is known.
Yep.
So if he vacillates on draft boards and you have a strong opinion on him, you can build sports talk radio and these type of sports talk television shows, debate shows around him. It's much more difficult to do with Cam Ward. He is not as known. We know him in football circles. You know him, but everybody knows who Shedeur Sanders is because they know who his dad is.
Yep.
Right? So it's an easy thing. If you are a producer on Get Up or you're a producer on Good Morning Football, you are someone who writes at The Athletic and they say, hey, we need a mock draft. Well, how are we going to make it something that gets clicks? I don't know. If we do Shador, we do Travis Hunter, like that allows for dialogue. It allows for debate, healthy debate. And so I think that's one of the things that's happened with Shador since the combine, because nothing's happened from him physically. Nothing. He hasn't done anything.
Nope.
He just met with teams. That's it.
Nope.
So the idea that it would have these wild opinions, a lot of it is on, quite honestly, just the building of content. One last one. Here's Albert Breer on the Browns quarterback options from the Rich Eisen show.
I think their plan is to continue to look at all the veteran options. I think Kirk Cousins is on their radar. Bringing back Joe Flacco for them would just introduce all kinds of different things, and I wonder if that would be feasible. Based on the way the last couple of years have played out. And then Russell, I think, to me at least, but again, that's another one of those. Atlanta has to be willing, and if Atlanta feels like they've got you in a tough spot, they could hold a gun to your head and try to get more.
They're already paying him. We just go with what we said. Unless someone gives them some sort of asset before the draft for him, I don't see why they would do that.
And he doesn't want to go someplace where they draft a quarterback high. And the other part, I would say, his probably best bet, and maybe even theirs, is also for keep Cousins there. If they're doing well, Penix is doing well, and somebody has a good team has a quarterback injury that wants to try to rent him for a year, that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, it does. I agree. Did you watch any of the hoops last night?
I saw the highlights of the win by Alabama State. I saw that, and then I saw UNC just smoke somebody.
I think UNC is going to make a run. I think they're going to win. I think they'll beat Ole
G-Man's
Miss.
been saying it all morning.
Yeah, they are. Because it was never about talent. They were a top 10 team preseason. They played well last week in the AC's tournament. Almost got Duke, albeit without Cooper Flagg. But they dominated San Diego State. I think they could get Ole Miss. I think they could make a run. I really do.
The only argument that I'm going to say about these play-in games, if you are a 16 seed,
of course,
you earned the right to be there.
Yeah, it's garbage. So,
you
for example,
the final four in,
did
or the final 8 in should be playing each other.
St. Francis won their conference and earned an automatic bid.
Yeah.
Yep.
They should get to play the 1 seed. It should be, to your point, 8 teams only from big conferences.
Right.
And if those are the ones that have to play to get in.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
That's it. So since they started this, I've been hammering this. A lot of us have talked about this for years. People who have the ear of the NCAA, the one pushback you get from the small schools on it is you do get paid more for wins in the NCAA tournament wins. So Alabama State now has an NCAA tournament win. And so there's compensation for that, and they can say we won a tournament game, something they otherwise aren't going to do, because guess who they have to play next? Auburn.
Yeah.
So they're going to get buried. But on a one-off, they get to have that. I still think it should be the way that we say that it should be the last 8 teams in playing for the 4 11 seeds. That, to me, is what it should be. And I think because I've covered the first 4, it is not the NCAA. Dayton does a great job. The folks come out, they pack it. It's an awesome venue for basketball. If you've not been there, it's awesome. State basketball tournaments there this weekend. But just from a feel standpoint, it's not the NCAA tournament.
No.
It's not. So things are very, very different there. We're going to have some fun with the brackets.
G-Man had a genius idea.
Good job out of the G-Man.
The G stands for genius.
He always comes in a big way. You always
Big
have
way.
situations in a big way, G-Man.
Big way.
Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Z one-on-one with Devin Bush coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Howard Hanna, official real estate provider of your Cleveland Browns, exclusive buyer agent there to help you navigate the field, save time and money, and score that winning touchdown, a new home. Win big with the leader in real estate. Visit howardhanna.com/go Browns today. Now here is Z with Devon Bush.
Very happy to be joined by Browns linebacker again. Welcome back, Devin Bush. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm surviving. I'm out here. I'm striving.
Striving, thriving, surviving, and splendid in the Brown. I see. I interviewed Miles in that very chill a few days ago in the Brown, and maybe that's the thing for this year.
That's the thing for this year. You look good, play good, feel good.
Yeah,
let's do it.
And you did play very well last year. 76 tackles, third most of your career. 8 tackles for loss, second most since your rookie season. Really seemed to kind of this. You took right to this defense, and I know you were very happy. I'm sure when you re-signed, I can tell you. Nobody was happier than Jason Tarver, your linebacker coach. He was thrilled about that.
Sure.
So, what was it about this situation that really kind of worked for you last year?
It was just being familiar, just building a relationship from last year, early on, probably OTAs.
Yep.
Starting there, I remember coming in day one and just learning everything, square one, and JT being a big help in that and helping me. Get me up to speed into, obviously what led into the season, with JOK going down and having to fill in and play different roles. So I'm familiar. I know who I'm playing with. I know who's going to coach me, and I'm ready to rock.
And we're certainly ready to rock. And last year, the ultimate, the wins and losses were not where you wanted, but there's still a very good core here and certainly a very good core on this defense. And for you, you talk about the familiarity, I have to imagine today compared to a year ago when you did sign, it's got to be – like you have to feel night and day different in this defense.
So much easier.
Yeah.
Just going to OTAs is going to be a whole different feeling. Even where we're not even allowed to practice, but just being around the guys and having a relationship already with the guys, the coaches, the staff, training staff, nutrition, just everybody in this building. It's just going to help me, be better this time around than last time around because I got a better expectations.
Sure. What is it like? I think that's one of the things that people don't really focus on this business. Is let's say right in Michigan. You're the man, right? You come into the NFL, you're a first-round pick, you have over 100 tackles, you're third in the Rookie of the Year voting that first year. And you're like, okay, this is my home, I'm here. And then all of a sudden, now I got to go to Seattle for a year and fit in a new place. And then I go to Cleveland and fit in a new place. How hard is that from being, where you were in college, where you were in your rookie year, to then saying, I got to try to come here and fit in, but I'm still in my core, I'm a leader, I'm that guy, but balancing all that?
I think it's a lot. It's definitely probably the biggest challenge of being an athlete in this business. It's just being able to adjust, cities, states, staff, organization, just everything that goes into it. And it's always a roller coaster ride, when you're in big business like that, especially the one at this competition level. So I think just going into it. Just what not much expectation, but just an open mind of just absorbing information and data and just being able just to be yourself at all times.
Did you know kind of coming off the season, hey, if it can all work out, I want to stay here?
Yeah, I had a feeling it was an option, but things kind of started to heat up once it got closer to free agency.
Okay.
And just talking to my agent, I know the Browns were very, very high on bringing me back, and I was excited about it. So I'm glad that, we put pen to paper and we got it done.
That's got to be a relief too, right? Because it's one of those things like you can assume it and it, but until you actually, as you said, put pen to paper, you've got your daughter's about to turn 3, family in Pittsburgh and all of that. Like, you want that stability and that security. And this is actually geographically, this is a pretty darn good place for you to be.
This is the closest I've been since 2022.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier on me. It's a lot easier on my family. And man, it just gives me a lot more mental capacity to just focus on something else.
Yeah. Have you got a chance to talk to Coach Tarver?
Yeah, I spoke to him briefly, but I didn't sign a contract yet, so I didn't want to talk to him because
Yeah, right. No tampering. Tampering for sure. Well, I know that he's very excited. What's kind of been, the response from your brothers in that linebacker room?
For sure. I mean, they were excited. I got a text, I got a call. I would say they kind of expected it more than me.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be back in that room, man. That was probably one of the best rooms I've been in since I've been in the league, just with the group of guys and the competition that we had amongst each other and how we, helped each other get better.
When you kind of look at this and step back and, 2 years ago was the number 1 defense in the league. Last year, still a very good defense, but not there. What's kind of been the talking points to you guys from either Jim Schwartz or, coming out of that, okay, this is where we have to be better to be who we want to be?
We talked a lot about setting the pace, and that's just how we attack the day. Whether it's OTAs or training camp or preseason, but just setting the pace on what type of team we're going to be and how we practice and how we get ready to compete.
And that's a big thing, right? Dictating as opposed to reacting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We want to throw the first punch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of throwing the first punch, although a very different college football playoff format this year.
Yeah.
Your alma mater
know.
threw a heck of a punch that in
crazy
years
punch.
past would have been a knockout punch and sent chaos
For sure.
to Ohio State and probably the Big Ten in general. But obviously, you guys got that win, your national championships last year, and then now Ohio State. Is that kind of wild that it went Michigan, Ohio State?
I mean, it just goes to show you the competition level in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Hats off to Ohio State. 2-loss team that won the Natty. I never seen it, never heard of it, but I guess this new bracket allows that.
Yeah.
But give us a chance, I guess. You can lose some, you still be in it. So
is that something kind of when you take like big picture, think NFL? It's just about getting in the dance.
Get your foot in the door.
Yeah, and then you can go on a run.
That's all you got to do. Get your foot in the door.
How excited are you kind of for this off season and then getting back here and getting back to football?
I'm eager, but you know how the season is. Once it starts,
It's long.
Exactly. So
Yes,
I'm
it is.
gonna take my time. I'm gonna definitely take my time off, enjoy myself.
How's your body feel coming off
Good.
that season?
Good. I'm good. I'm back training. I've been back training for about 2 months.
Okay.
So
Right, 'cause I remember you weren't able to play in the finale,
yeah,
right?
So I was dealing with that thigh contusion, so we got that all cleaned up. Probably like right after the season. I probably took like a couple weeks off, did a lot of treatment, got it right. So we back training. We feel
Ready to
good.
go.
Ready
Well,
to
we're thrilled you're back with the Cleveland
thank you.
Browns. Look fantastic today,
Feel
and
good.
can't wait to see you out there on the field.
I know. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, great stuff with Z and Devin there. We're going to have a little fun. We're going to do a little March Madness brackets. We're going to go some categories that we have to stay loyal to. We will pay no attention to actual analysis. This will be just on, and then we will put it up against G-Man and Dr. J's and see how it shakes out.
And
if
then
their best attempt versus our nonsense, who wins?
Okay.
You in?
I'm in.
All right, we'll do that coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, add some more fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today, get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager or 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. All righty, G-Man, you dreamt this up. So we're going to do some brackets.
Let's get G-Man. Where's G-Man over there? Did you know that while you were gone, Gibbe, we had a G-Man cam?
We did have a G-Man cam that happened as well.
It actually works.
It did work.
It was on yesterday.
It was on.
It was
It
on.
was G-Man cam. So the idea here is that we are picking these games based on a set of criteria and no basketball intuition whatsoever.
No.
Correct.
All right.
And each region will have a different criteria.
Okay.
I feel like G-Man should come over here. He came up with the brainchild.
Let's
of this.
go.
So
Yeah, let's go.
and he's made his picks literally in the 4-minute commercial break.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
All right. So we're start. Do we need? I think we need traveling music for this. Little traveling music, maybe. Kev, if you can.
Yeah, let me see what I can find.
All right, brother. Good job out of you. All right, G-Man, you ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's go. We're going to start where?
We're going to start in the South region.
All right, let's do it. What's the category?
This is daily shows. Would you host this school's daily show?
Okay. So
When you think
Browns
about what does that
Daily,
entail?
I would say a daily radio show.
So you remember when we did the AFC
Living there
team
shouldn't
reviews,
matter, though.
and we
right?
did those
'Cause that's
categories
kind of like
after.
vacation. That's the vacation.
Yeah, I
one.
think living. You have to factor that. I think where it's
Okay.
located is a part of it. You have to physically be there.
Okay.
If you're hosting the daily show of record,
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's fair. So, all right, I'm in. Let's go.
So we got first matchup in the South region is going to be Auburn and Alabama State.
Listen, this is
Auburn.
Bruce Pearl. We're gonna have the time of our lives.
Having a great time.
being around that guy.
Yeah.
So-
we're gonna booze up. We're gonna be flashing to the quad. I mean, he's the most fun you're gonna have. I think that's Pearl easy. Auburn.
Same.
Okay. So now we move on to our 8-9, which is Louisville and Creighton. So you're either in Louisville, Kentucky, or Omaha, Nebraska.
Well, you got Bourbon in Louisville. I do like Greg McDermott, who's the coach of Creighton. You know, maybe get some stock tips from Uncle Warren in Omaha, but that's not going to outdo Bourbon for me.
We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go with Louisville as well, because think of like the alums we could have that would come through on the program.
Oh yeah,
I feel like we'd have a pretty healthy stock there. And to your point, we're on the Bourbon Trail, Valhalla.
Valhalla. We're members.
We're members
Sure
of
there.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think
that sounds
we're-
like a pretty good setup.
I also think there's a decent chance that like we do the show in white suits, like Patino did.
Yeah. We're definitely doing a show from the Kentucky Derby.
100%.
I mean, that's a given.
That's a
100%.
given.
Yeah, 100%.
No.
As long as you wear those big, like, flowery hats.
That's a good one there.
That's a good one.
Yep.
All right, we move to our 5-12, Michigan and UC San Diego. So UC San Diego shockingly in San Diego, California.
100% for me. The blue. Let me lay out my thought process. Number one, first
Big
of
blue,
all,
you mean? Like the big blue boy?
Yeah, go
the
blue.
Amazing blue? Yeah.
Michigan. First of all, the kid would love it. He'd be on the show frequently, I would imagine, saying some very, very fun things. You have national champions in your history. You got
Sure,
a rich history.
yeah.
Bring back the Fab Five whenever you want. We have lots of fun tricks we can do up there. Also, it's easier to get through some of the doldrums because we're going to have like a football team that we can sometimes
Oh, yeah.
dabble with.
Sure.
And then the other part of it is I think that the level of broadcaster that you and I were, that if we were the voice of record for Michigan, Portnoy at some point is going to offer us millions.
Oh,
to go,
that's a next
to
level
go
thought
work,
on you.
to go work for him.
It's a great thought on you. The next level part of it. Larry Ellison's lady friend also would probably be a big fan of ours. Maybe we could financially benefit from that. La Jolla is nice.
This isn't vacation. Yeah,
But
I think there's.
But like, who's listening to the UC San Diego Daily Show?
No,
like,
no,
You're probably
no.
broadcasting in a climate. All right,
I changed your mind. The next
did.
level, the Portnoy.
Yeah, the next
the
part
level
of it,
was
and then,
that's
'cause
good.
UCA San Diego is going to go a while just because of the lifestyle, but at the same time, like, boy,
See,
that show could disappear at any moment.
If this region was the Midwest
Well,
and
we'll
it
get-
was based on vacation,
then it's easy.
UCSD
Yeah, you got it,
for
yeah.
sure.
All right.
Yep.
So UCSD is the first year that they're eligible for the tournament, and both their men's and women's team made it out of
Congrats.
the Big West.
Good
So
job
that's
out of
cool.
them. I don't even know what they're called.
They're the Tritons.
Tritons. Wow.
That would have been good to know.
Yeah, we had the Big West
I
Championship.
hope for the West you have all these mascots at the ready, G-Man, because it's a mascot fight.
Oh, don't worry. I know
He's
plenty of
got 'em.
mascots.
He's got 'em
Yeah.
ready.
So that's also the first difference that
Man,
we
we
have.
got a hum here too. By the way, we're at 150. We got a whole nother region. We got to
move.
go. We got to move.
All right, A&M and Yale, College Station and
We can do each. We can
Haven,
we can
Connecticut.
revisit a next round. We only have to. Let's only do the opening round today. We don't need to fill out the entire bracket today.
I think we have to fill up
You
the whole
have to
bracket
do it
because
all today,
it's
'cause
got to
he's
get done because I'm
you're
out
gonna
of
be
here.
gone.
We got to be gone.
Ugh.
Look, Texas A&M's the winner here. You got oil money. You and I are going to just thrive with oil money. It's going to be like an episode of Landman. Can you imagine all the privileges we're going to have at A&M? They're kind of weird because they wear the
What about
uniforms.
Yale though? I feel like we're so connected
Connecticut,
to.
it could be connected.
We're so connected. We're gonna get plucked right out
Couldn't
of
we
there.
do more duplicitous things at A&M with that oil money?
All right, you've convinced me. Much as I convince you for Michigan,
All right,
we have to come to a consensus, right?
We do, yeah.
All right.
So
Texas A&M.
we're on A&M.
Yeah.
We got A&M.
6-11 in this region is Ole Miss and North Carolina. So
Carolina,
Oxford, Mississippi,
history,
and
Carolina,
Chapel Hill.
Jordan, the color, the gear
You're going to get Jordan geared all day long.
in most beautiful color.
Ole Miss has great gear, too,
Yes.
with the sky blue, but I think it's Carolina.
Yeah.
All right, Iowa State, Lipscomb.
What? Tell me something about Lipscomb.
It's
Lipscomb
in
is
Nashville.
in Nashville?
Sold.
Lipscomb in.
I'm not going to Iowa. I'm not going to Ames, Iowa for nothing.
Nope.
Lipscomb.
Lipscomb.
Nashville. Let's go.
All right, 7-10, Marquette and New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Shaka
and
Smart versus Richard Pitino. So Milwaukee versus Albuquerque. It's little Ricky Pitino. We might thrive at the pit. New Mexico, gateway to Taos.
I mean, New Mexico. Well, and we can
Santa
work.
Fe.
We can work on our other endeavors. We're set for the future. New
right,
Mexico,
New
all
Mexico
the
it
way.
is.
The Lobos.
All right, last one in the South region, Michigan State and Bryant.
Where's Bryant?
Bryant is in Rhode Island.
On the water.
Unsure.
I think we got to do. You get Magic Johnson. You get Sparty Land.
That's fine. Michigan State. I think that's fair.
All right,
Okay.
second round. Here we go. Let's hum. Auburn, Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville, Bourbon.
Yep.
Michigan and A&M.
I think this is about as far as I can ride the Michigan wave.
Okay.
Landman me.
UNC.
So we're on A&M here.
Yep.
UNC, and then
UNC and Lipscomb.
Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be hard to unseat, honestly, in
Yeah.
this criteria.
And then we got New Mexico and Michigan State.
I think New Mexico, right?
I think so too. Yes, absolutely.
I do feel like Breaking Bad about Albuquerque, but I have to assume there's more to that than just that. It seems pretty bleak in Breaking Bad.
We're gonna be fine. Don't worry about
ABQ?
it. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna elevate it.
All right, here we go. Sweet 16 matchups we go. Louisville and A&M.
A&M, based on
Going to A&M.
Oil money and
Yeah.
duplicitous behavior.
It's all about the oil.
what's our city though? Aren't we in like College
College
Station?
Station.
It's pretty bleak. It's not as it's warm, but it's pretty bleak. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a nice spot in Corpus Christi. We're gonna
That's fine.
sneak down to Galveston, Corpus.
There you go.
There for spring break. Thrive.
Yeah.
Get me from the cheap seats.
All right. UNC.
UNC and New Mexico.
Carolina.
We're going Carolina. So
Tar Heel's one of the.
Let me tell you something,
That
if-
campus is stunning.
I think we're gonna get smoked in this region.
all right,
can't worry about that.
I know. we can't
UNC
worry
and
about
A&M. Here we
it. So
go.
we gotta go UNC.
This
Gotta
is
go
it.
Carolina.
We're going Carolina.
mean-
Carolina makes.
Can you
the
imagine
final.
our gear? Oh my God! Imagine his gear. He's got it. The written word, by the way, from him.
Very
Strong,
good. Strong.
strong.
response. Silly.
The gear we would get
Silly.
on Carolina. Can you imagine
Yeah.
the quarter zip connect collection?
Oh,
Alexander Julian and Jordan combinations. Come on.
the vest collection too.
Oh, the vest collection would be outrageous.
My goodness.
I'm
Outrageous.
not running that show.
Gosh, you'd love that show, Kev. All right,
All
so
right.
Carolina gets in on the dailies. All right, off
To
we
the
go.
West region we go. This is our mascot fight. Hey now.
All right.
All right, here you go. Number 1, Florida. Number 6, Norfolk State. We got Gators versus Spartans.
Gator.
Spartan.
Gator.
Spartan's got a sword, dude. Game, set, match.
And a lot of those old ones and those like
All you
first
gotta
of all,
do-
hold on.
With a
What are we
gator, all you got to
doing
do
here?
is zigzag. Zink.
There's a weapon.
It's a weapon.
I don't know.
Spear.
It does
I've
How do you
seen
think
A gator cannot beat a Spartan. You're going to have
so,
gear.
So on top of the sword, you've got armor.
What
Yeah,
if
you
this
got
is like
armor.
the greatest gator ever? First of all, hard to move in armor, underrated.
You're worried about how this is going to look if we're going to
I'm
beat
not
him or
worried about that at all, but I
don't see any scenario
I just
where
think a gator is a dinosaur and it's still on the planet. It's formidable. Spartans are gone.
Like,
I don't
well,
know,
they
man.
thrive for a long time. I think it's a Spartan.
It's gotta be a Spartan.
Hold on, let me just lay one more thing out for you guys.
By the way, it's not Spartan. It's Spartans. Multiple Spartans.
It's multiple an army of gators, dude. An army of gators.
Spartans would be
on
an
the
army of
leg,
gators.
leg snapped. Ah! He stabs his friend. Oh no! Boom,
All you got to
another friend
do,
gone.
all you got to do is not
not
run
Looney
like the
Tunes.
Stark kid. Like just zigzag.
Just give me the Gators. Give me the Gators. Gators are formidable, dude.
You
All right.
can't.
Fine.
I really believe a Florida Gator has a
You are
chance of
so
killing
worried
somebody.
about
The,
how
s-
this
the
bracket's
Spartan.
gonna look.
Hold on a
You're
second.
giving me the
Hold on a
distance.
second. Hold on
The
a second.
Spartan, I have a hard time believing the Spartan's going to lose.
Let me just say
You
one
wanna
more
have
thing.
Win, I'll give
Let
it
me
to
say
you.
one more thing. We have to make a. What we really have to do is figure out here. Are we talking about? Are they stepping into the squared circle, 2 enter and 1 leaves?
Yeah.
Or are we talking about Florida being the home seed? So this is played around a lake,
In a swamp.
It's in a swamp. The Spartan, he's looking. I don't see the Gator. Where is he? Where is he? Whammo!
I'll give you Gator on this one. But if this Gator comes up with somebody with a gun, it's done.
Okay. All right.
And
A
that
husky
ironically
versus
leads us
a
to
Sooner.
Huskies Sooners.
Sooners are. I mean, those
It's a
are
man.
folks looking for land. I mean, that's going to be the
Oklahoma.
dog, so it's got to be OU.
Yeah.
Memphis, Colorado State. We got Tigers
Tigers.
versus Rams.
Tigers. Yeah.
They take Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis Tigers.
Yep.
This is a hard one.
Terrapins versus Antelopes. Maryland and Grand Canyon.
Neither are predators. I mean,
No.
it's a turtle. An antelope's more formidable. They run 70
They're
miles
going
an
to
hour.
run. Yeah, I agree.
Grand Canyon.
All right, Grand Canyon it is.
Yeah.
Missouri Drake. We got Tigers versus Bulldogs.
Tigers.
We'll go Mizzou there. Red Raiders versus Seahawks.
Red Raiders.
Red Raiders.
Red Raiders might come out of this thing.
I'd say you're in a good spot.
yeah.
Jayhawks Razorbacks.
Razorbacks.
So a Jayhawk isn't even a thing.
Nope.
They've turned it into that bird, but a Jayhawk is actually a homesteader in Kansas. They were the folks who went and fought for land after the Civil War, and I believe I have that right. And so there are humans. A Jayhawker is actually a human, not that actual bird.
Okay.
They turned it into the bird. So we're going to have to go to the rules committee on this. Are we doing it on the bird, or are we doing it versus the human?
You said mascot fight.
If it's mascot fight, then it's
The
it's
mascot
got to be
is
the
a bird.
bird.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
gotta be
fine.
the
Then
bird.
it's Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I don't know though. Is there any
Razorback?
scenario how a razorback could ever catch a hawk?
It's going to have to come down and try to fight at some
Boy,
point.
I don't
For the
know.
hawk
I
to
think
kill
I
it,
don't
it
know.
has to come on
I
the
think
land.
I'm with you. I think the hawk wins.
Okay.
You got talons, you got a beak. The razorback's got those tusks, but I don't know if he could ever get his hands
All
on
right,
him.
rock chalk.
Yeah, just
Jayhawk.
scribble out the AR. Last one, St. John's of Omaha. We got Red Storm versus Mavericks.
Okay, so Red Storm used to be Red Men.
Yes.
So that's what they were originally based on, was Native American.
So it's Cowboys and Indians.
Cowboys and Indians is what you're at.
I'm going
there.
with it.
I mean, we
I'm
know
going
how
with the
that
Native Americans. I'm 132nd Chippewa, brother.
is. Historically, that went the other way.
I think it wasn't a fair fight. This is going to be a
Agreed.
fair fight.
Agreed. But one has.
This isn't Trail of Tears.
Are they Mavericks? Chief Joseph, by the way. Good job at you.
Thank you.
Is a Maverick a cowboy? Is that known? Like with
Yeah.
pistoliers?
yeah.
Give me an
Their
Omaha
logo is
match.
an O. I have no idea. Jake Gensel went there.
Then I think you have to go with St. John's. What's the mascot?
Well, St. John's is.
It's
it's a storm now, but it was Native Americans.
I mean, how formidable of a storm are we talking about?
Omaha does beat up trash cans after each win that they
That
get.
is true. They do. That's worth noting.
Maverick is known as Durango. No,
That's the Cornhusker.
Nebraska. What?
All right, but so we're doing the Reds. We're going St. John's.
We'll go St. John's. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Gators, Sooners.
Humans versus a gator.
Again?
Gators versus humans again.
Humans without armor this time.
Yeah,
No, but
armor.
they have,
So they have to
they-
stay.
Don't they have guns?
Yes.
The
I don't-
Sooners?
I think
Are they
Sooners
based?
do have guns,
Yeah,
yeah.
they do. They
Sooners
shoot their
have guns.
shotguns. So
Yeah.
OU.
So Oklahoma.
Yep. Tigers are going to.
Tigers.
Tigers will destroy antelopes. Yep. And then
Red
Tigers,
Raiders.
Red
Raiders.
I think the Red Raiders can shoot them. We saw it in.
Yep.
We saw a tiger get shot, quite frankly, in
1923
1923 in Africa.
Yeah.
And then we got the Red Storm and the
St.
Jayhawks.
St. John's over a hawk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sooners, Tigers.
Sooners.
Red
Red
Raiders,
Raiders.
Red Storm.
Texas
Red
Tech.
Raiders.
And then
Texas Tech.
Sooners and
It's
Red
gotta be
Raiders.
It's got to be Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Red Raiders it is.
What
All
a
right.
formidable Final Four. We started with North
UNC.
Carolina.
Well, Texas Tech at least is a 3.
North Carolina and Texas Tech.
Texas Tech's
first
at
two
least
Final
a
Four
3.
teams. We will
Yeah.
finish this up
Okay.
in the second hour of the program.
You have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. We'll go around the league coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, time to go around the league, presented by Leaf Filter, official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. This from Bill Barnwell, ESPN. Best team fits for unsigned players. This, quite honestly, well, there's one here with J.K. for us. Browns on the top of that one, J.K. Dobbins.
So I understand that. Very effective runner last year. Injuries are a problem. I really think the best fit for us as a free agent, right? It's the best fit and path for us at running back is sign free agent Nicholas Jamal Chubb.
Yes, right there.
And then draft a running back in this draft. And I'm totally fine using pick 33 to do so, or one of your third-round picks. But
there's so much running back talent in this draft.
That's the path here. You've got Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford was very effective last year and has the ability to hit big runs. I don't think that we need to, in any way, shape, or form, I don't think we need to bring in a J.K. Dobbins and then not bring in Nick Chubb, because I think this is a draft you do want to draft a running back.
You're going to draft one, man.
You're going to draft one. So I think the solution is bring back Nick Chubb on a one-year deal, probably a low guarantee, but with incentives in case that he recaptures his form. And you'd love to keep him in this uniform. I think let's get it done. He hasn't signed anywhere else, so that tells me the market is maybe not what he had hoped it would be. Let's get him here, and you got to do that before the draft, and then draft a running back as well.
Yeah, and
that's
think the other guys on this list, like the receiver guys, like Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, I think those will be much, much later. I think those will be post-draft. Like, people will see what they did in the draft, and then they'll revisit those guys in training camp, I think.
So I do like the Cam Robinson one, and I don't know if it's Cam Robinson, I don't know if it's Fred Johnson. I think I'd like to sign another veteran tackle here, and that way we're freed up, to maybe be more aggressive in terms of going for the weapons with your first picks. We need to score the ball.
Handle the tackle position and the depth behind it before the draft so that draft you can weapons it out.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I like
Listen,
that a lot.
I'd be honest with you, and I know that this is not going to get a lot of people excited, but if there really is, let's call it, no to an incredibly limited market, Keenan Allen's a guy I would sign. Mm-hmm. I think he would be a nice veteran to have in our room, especially with a young quarterback who, you saw how well he played last year for Caleb. I certainly would like him. It's kind of like that slot, help move it along, but if Jed Wills has no market whatsoever,
seems like he doesn't.
Is there a better 1 year? Like, dude, this is your NFL career kind of on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know the system. You don't have to learn a system. He still has within him the gifts to turn into a very long-term solution. Maybe you try a thing next year where you go DeWand is at right tackle, Jed's a backup, but gets a lot of reps at right tackle to be the heir apparent in his natural college position to Jack Conklin. Mm-hmm. It just feels like there's not a lot of risk in that.
No.
If there isn't much of a market, and Young still has potential to be a longer-term solution, but if he's out there now,
he's not on any of these lists either.
No.
There's no chatter around him at all. Annual league meetings start on March 30th. They run through April 2nd. A bunch of rule changes proposed from teams around the league. From the Packers, a formal proposal to ban the tush push, prohibit an offensive player from pushing a teammate who is lined up directly behind the snapper and receives a snap immediately after the snap.
I'm fine with it because it has become such a weapon for the Eagles in particular. Really nobody else. They're better at it, but at the same point, they're better at it. So they should get the benefit of being better at it.
Then I think if you're going to do this, and you can't push a teammate at any point on the field.
Which is how it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be. Like you couldn't push somebody from behind, who's getting tackled or whatever.
Right.
So I just don't think you can. This feels like you're just picking on them. No one is stopping everybody else from the league from doing this. Other teams just aren't willing to put their quarterback in that time to harm's way.
Correct.
Over and over again, the way that the Eagles are. The Lions want to eliminate automatic first down for defensive holding. Well, I love that.
So here's my take on it. I think, number one, you eliminate the automatic first down. I think it should stay a 5-yard penalty. But if it happens beyond the first down marker, it's an automatic first down. So let's say that it's...
I got you.
If it's a 3rd and 20...
Yeah.
And a guy breaks free from you 25 yards down the field, so you grab him, that's an automatic first down.
That's automatic, yeah.
If it happens before the first down marker, it's 5 yards and you played over, it's not a first down. But I think that has to be in there because this, to me, sets up scenarios where it's 3rd and 20. If you're going to get beat, just grab somebody so they can't beat you, and then now they still have to go for a 3rd and 15. That seems ridiculous. So I think if the foul takes place beyond the first down marker, it's a first down.
The Eagles propose a regular season overtime rule to mirror that of the postseason overtime rules, guaranteeing that both teams an opportunity to possess the football.
Totally fine.
Just use the college rules. That's it. Just use the college rules. It's like they can't admit it's a better system. Just turn off the stats and use the college system.
I think they're worried about gambling.
Like over-unders and all that stuff. Just turn off the stats.
And I realize that's part of college too, but I just don't
think
they...
I just think it's part of – it's like all you got to do is turn off the touchdowns and stat accumulation individually at the end of regulation, and then just – it works itself out pretty quickly. There aren't that many instances where it lasts 5 overtimes. Like, it works itself out quickly, and it's a good system. It's quick.
And it's dramatic.
And it's very dramatic. Yeah, it's good. It's a better system than what the NFL uses.
It is. If they're keeping theirs, though, I think it should be the overtime of the NFL should be this.
Should be the same always.
All the way.
I feel that like NHL has a different overtime rule for the regular season than the postseason. It should be the same always. From the Lions, they want to amend the current playoff seeding format to allow wildcard teams to be higher than divisional champions if the wildcard team has a better record. 100% agree. 100% agree for me.
I'm torn on this.
I'm
torn on this because
divisions are not created equal.
True,
good and bad.
Nor are all schedules.
Okay,
if you played the same schedule, that's one thing, but you don't. Your non-conference or your conference that you're going to play and your divisions that you're going to play are different. Like your division that you're going to play in the AFC West is different, or in the NFC is different than the division they're going to play in the NFC. So there can be some schedule. Common opponents in a division luck to that.
Yeah.
So I just think there's something. You win your division, you get to host a playoff game. I like that. Because they're not all playing the same schedule. If you're playing the same schedule and you're better, then yes, but you're not playing the same schedule.
Yeah, I can see it too though from the idea of like 9 and 8 NFC South, AFC South division winner hosting.
So just beat them.
14 and 3.
Just beat
team
them.
that finished second in the AFC West.
By the way, last year you would have said, right, Minnesota should have been hosting a home playoff game, right?
Yeah.
And they fell right on their face.
They did. Yep, they did. This one from the Steelers: permit clubs during the 2 days of legal tampering to have direct contact with free agents, arrange travel upon agreeing to terms with the prospective free agent. Just start free agency right away.
Do it. Yes, agreed.
Like, so
100%.
silly, like legal tampering is
100%.
so stupid. Yeah, so that's fun. I like when that stuff comes out. We also are 3 quarterbacks for the second season of Quarterback on Netflix. Joe Burrow, that will be interesting. There was a lot of drama in Cincinnati this year. Jared Goff, that will be a lot of fun, I would think, with Detroit and Kirk Cousins running it back.
I'm surprised about that. It's going to be
that is not going to be fun.
No,
that's 2 years in a row for them.
Yeah, well, obviously
Mariota, right? Mariota was on it, and
that was Arthur
Cousins.
Smith.
That was the most likable Cousins ever was with Minnesota.
So it'll be interesting to see how he
handled that.
Is through all of that.
Yeah,
there's a part of me that thinks now he couldn't have agreed to it preseason, knowing what was going on, but maybe the agreement was made post draft.
It's like,
and he's saying like, okay, look, I don't know how the season's going to go, but here's another chance for me to stay marketable, keep my name out there in the event that I need to move on.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right, we'll go around the sports world coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're brought to you by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. For the first time ever, witness Inter Miami take on the Columbus Crew at Huntington Bank Field. It's April 19th. Secure your spot to see some of the MLS's biggest stars. Visit huntingtonbankfield.com/crew versus Miami to get your tickets today. And we have in front of us Scotty Scheffler's Champions Dinner at the Masters.
I like it, but I've got some notes.
All right, here's what I would say. First of all, this is his second time winning, right?
Yep.
Is this the same menu? I feel like I remember this main choice of wood-fired cowboy
I think
ribeye.
that is the same. I don't know if the
remember
rest is.
for sure jalapeno cream corn.
Yes.
This is not the first time I've read that.
No.
All right, so this is the Champions Dinner. Appetizers, cheeseburger sliders served Scotty style, whatever that means, and firecracker shrimp, sweet Thai chili, sriracha mayo. And Papa Chef's meatball and ravioli bites.
Okay, so
pecorino cheese and tomato basil sauce. God,
Okay.
Listen to the tones from Kev. Listen to that. And
That's
that just-
beautiful.
Oh my God.
problem here.
Go.
Okay, we need in this apps. We do not need cheeseburger sliders when we've got a ribeye coming.
You don't need a cheeseburger slider when you got a meatball.
And so one of these needs
Pick
to
one,
be X'd.
Scotty.
And then what you need to add is maybe a sashimi, a shrimp cocktail, or how about a crab cocktail? You need some type of a chilled seafood. Everything's hot. And then I would go so far as
I
to
think
say,
these things don't make sense together. These three things.
wait
make
till you
no
go to the
sense.
first course.
I mean, these three things make no sense together at all.
So you're going to have ground
Just
beef
heavy,
sliders,
hot-
ground beef meatballs, and then ground beef chili.
Texas style chili, that's no beans, right? I think that means no beans.
I don't know. I just had the Schefter menu update from the first time.
Do you have
Several items are the same as when he hosted in 2023, including the firecracker shrimp, cheeseburger sliders, ribeye steak, black and red fish,
Yeah.
and warm chocolate chip skillet cookie.
Yeah.
The Texas-style chili and the Papa Chef's meatballs and ravioli bites are all new.
What are they replacing?
Papa Chef is my dad, Scheffler said in a conference call Wednesday.
All right, so lose the sliders.
Get rid of the sliders.
Keep the meatball.
I would honestly get rid of the meatball. If you're gonna run
hold on.
Texas style chili right
This
at
is
me,
what we're doing. We're not. We're
which-
getting rid of the chili.
I think I think Texas style chili is like brisket meat. I don't even know if
Yeah,
it's
it's no beans.
No beans, right,
Right.
Kev? Yeah, it's no
Yep.
beans. It's all meat. Is
Right.
what it is.
So we're going to go firecracker
That's
shrimp.
a lot of meat.
We'll keep the meatball and ravioli bites because it's
It's
dad.
like having 5 seafood towers.
And then we're going to have to go with, we need like a seafood tower over here. This can be oysters.
You guys want another seafood tower?
Chill.
No, I need something
No,
warm.
something warm.
I
So
can't eat this much cold
Something.
shellfish.
this is the
Simone.
opposite of that dinner. So we're going to go the chilled seafood tower, the firecracker shrimp, and then the meatballs and raviolis. The chili I'm eliminating completely. This is going to be
I'm with you.
This is going to be a Caesar salad because we need a little crunch and a little freshness.
There isn't even a green on here in the first.
No, brother.
At all.
No.
It's all.
That's what I'm saying.
So
this is wrong.
He's got to have a
he
salad
didn't-
somewhere.
So he didn't get rid of anything except the tortilla soup.
So you replace tortilla soup with Texas style chili.
No, that's just a salad.
Yeah,
No,
'cause
there's got to be a salad.
That's going to be
in
a Caesar
here somewhere.
salad, prepared tableside. Lovely, classy. And then we're going to go into the ribeye.
All right. So the main course is a choice of a wood-fired cowboy ribeye. So it's a bone-in ribeye.
That is happening.
Or a blackened redfish. Both of those are delicious. Family style mac and cheese. I'm not a mac and cheese guy. I know that steakhouses have it. I don't need it. I think mac and cheese for me, this is just my opinion, I think that mac and cheese from like Panera or the stuff that I get at the grocery store, like is just as good as like a steakhouse. I don't think it's any different.
Yep.
Scotty style, by the way, means there's French fries on the burger.
Oh my God, this is so heavy.
It's very heavy.
Then jalapeno cream corn, soy glazed Brussels sprouts, and chipotle lime roasted sweet potatoes. The rest of that I don't care about, but I don't need the mac and cheese.
If I'm getting mac and cheese, like it has to be creamy. Like it can't. The problem is if it sits too long, it just cooks and cooks.
It's just not for me. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. And then his dessert, he goes warm chocolate chip skillet cookie vanilla bean ice cream. That feels like would be undefeated.
I would like to think
That
so.
I'm in. Yeah. It's just minor tweaks. We're getting rid of the sliders for chilled seafood. We're the chili out and for a Caesar salad, and now we're good to go. We're going to have some firecracker shrimp, so that's a little warm shrimp with a sweet Thai chili sauce. Great. Then we're going to have
Thai
the chilled
chili's
seafood.
undefeated.
Oh, man, some crab leg cocktail.
Now
Sure.
we're talking. That's
And then we're
what
gonna
we
have
need.
you want a humor Papa Chef. You want to have a meatball and ravioli. I'm sure it's gonna be delightful. Now we're gonna cleanse the palate. We're gonna freshen up. We're gonna crisp
Yeah.
it up with a little Caesar, fresh romaine, prepared tableside. Now we're gonna get this ribeye. And we're gonna finish off with a chocolate chip skillet cookie. Okay.
That's a win.
Yeah.
It's a weird menu. I think it's a weird menu.
Yes.
Like if somebody dropped this on me at like you go to the club and they're like, oh, it's a chef tasting menu and this is what they threw out. I need a break here somewhere.
I need a break. I need to catch my breath. Where's the amuse bouche?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's a lot going on there, buddy. All right. Coming up next, we conclude our bracket madness. The East region, the Midwest region, with categories that we must be loyal to. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, Browns fans, this month's winner of the local business platform presented by Minuteman is Square 22. Locally owned and operated, Square 22 Restaurant and Bar brings unique dining experience to the center of Strongsville. Check them out today. It's a perfect spot for casual meals, date nights, private dining, happy hour alike. To learn more about the local business platform, visit browns.com/community/local business platform. We will continue with our nonsensical brackets. G-Man, are you ready?
Yes, it is time for the East region, which is the best uniforms and branding.
Okay.
So we'll have to start with Duke and the winner of American and Mount St. Mary's, who would
Duke.
We don't
You know what I'm curious about before we start this endeavor? If the branding and all of that uniform branding matches up with the best teams, because right away you say Duke and you go, well, that's pretty damn good branding.
Right,
So,
yeah.
It's a great, it's solid uniform.
Yeah, it's clean. Now
Classic.
they're back, and Gibby will appreciate this. They're back to like the original Duke colors. Like they look, yeah, they look like Grant Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a while there they wore a different blue that was not what they're supposed to be wearing.
All right, Mississippi State and Baylor.
So the Bulldogs and Bears. I'm going to be honest. I think it's Mississippi State for me because they are at least true to those colors. Baylor's had some brand ambiguity. They were soft gold and lighter green. They've been kind of a darker green and a yellow.
Yeah, it did transition it like
They've had-
after the RG3 when they had the chrome domes.
Yeah, they had like a soft Vegas gold kind of.
Yep.
And now they're like bright yellow and green.
They're kind of more like Oregon.
Yeah, darker green but similar yellow. Yeah.
Yep.
So to me, I think Mississippi State kind of is. It's not great, but it is. At least they're known.
All right, so we'll go with the
Okay.
Bulldogs.
I mean, this is easy.
Oregon is
On
Oregon
to our
is
5-12.
the best
This is
at
the
it.
Oregon Ducks and the Liberty Flames.
Oregon is going to be formidable even for Duke.
Oregon's formidable, and Arizona's formidable. I love Arizona's brand. I love their unis. Logo's
Well,
the same. It's
Like
great.
all of Akron's stuff is LeBron branded. I will throw that out there.
Is it now?
It is.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean it's a zip. It's got the Z now. It's got they got the kangaroo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Arizona's an iconic. brand.
Come on.
All right, that
Segura, are you nervous about Akron and Arizona?
He's not.
No.
I would be.
Should be.
They're like
I'm not
14-point
either.
favorites, dude.
I'm not either.
Let's calm down.
BYU, VCU. You got the Cougars and the Rams.
BYU has a very strong brand in that you know what it is and you know what it means to go to BYU and all of it.
I think you're right. I think it is the
And have they changed their uniforms?
Mormon Notre Dame. What's
Right.
that?
Like aren't their uniforms stylistically similar?
Pretty much. Years ago, they went to like a navy blue and
Yeah.
gold kind of color,
Now it's white.
and now it's their bright blue and white.
White.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're going to have a lot of chalk here. We go to Wisconsin and
Well,
Montana.
that's what I was curious about. Is like, does good branding equate success?
Yeah.
And the odds, I think it might prove out that it does.
So we got Wisconsin and Montana, Badgers, Grizzlies.
This is my brother's alma mater here. Yeah, Montana Grizzlies.
Doesn't
They got a
have to-
great brand, but yeah,
It has to be Montana.
it's pretty great. I
When
mean,
you think of
it's-
Montana, what do you think of?
Yeah, Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
Yeah, they're there. I mean, it's pretty good.
Are there a lot of Badgers running around Wisconsin?
You have to have the Hoff.
Well, so then not as good a branding. We're not sure.
I'm for it.
Okay.
I can do that.
Wisconsin for the Hoff. I mean, that's why I love it. And I do think Wisconsin has a good brand, but I mean, this is Montana we're talking about here.
Takes us to our 7-10 in the East region, which is St. Mary's and Vanderbilt.
I know
My
this
parents'
is
alma mater, the Gales.
the Commodores and the V.
The
and
Commodores
Star, and
anchor
I think
down.
It's black and gold. It's all
It's-
that.
Yeah, I
It's
like
pretty
the
clean.
J color.
So
They
here's
used
a
to have the V with the stars.
star, right.
And then they got rid of that. Now it's just a V, which is a mistake, I think. But either way,
Tarves,
it's
I'm pretty
strong.
sure, was a DC at Vanderbilt, if I'm not mistaken.
Was he?
He was?
Yeah.
So that takes us to Alabama and Robert Morris. You got the Crimson Tide and the Colonials, which this will not be close. It's Bama. Bama
All-timer,
is
yeah.
the brand.
Yeah.
It's a very good brand. This is interesting because before we started this, I was curious, and I think it might play that way a lot.
So takes us to Duke and Mississippi State in the second
Duke.
round.
I mean, Duke's
formidable.
they're going to be hard to top.
Yep.
And that'll set up a pretty good third round matchup with the winner of Oregon and Arizona here.
So for our age, it would absolutely be Arizona. Absolutely. For the young kids, I'm pretty sure it would be Oregon.
Can I just give one pushback?
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I happen to love about Oregon if I'm being objective.
Yeah.
But there are probably many football games that you would watch that if they didn't tell you who you were watching, if you just parachuted in, you'd have no idea it was Oregon.
if you didn't follow college football, I think that's fair.
You're going to get an all black. You're going to get an all white. You're
yeah.
going to get an all gray. You're going to get the traditional orange and green.
Yeah.
Arizona's red, white, and blue. You know you're getting.
It is.
It's the same helmet. They wear the same helmet.
Here's
I think,
how
for every game.
I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do this for you because of your love of Zago, and this is what I'm going to do for you. Because this is in a basketball bracket.
Arizona's definitely the better
And
basketball.
Arizona's I'm fine with Arizona, but I do think that Oregon is. And in terms of a modern branding, I don't know that there's a better example of modern branding in the last 25 years than Oregon.
I would agree with that.
I think they are on any sport. I think regardless, they've just
They
crushed
almost
it.
have too much. They're getting to the point where they almost have too many uniforms.
They've even pared it down a little. The apex of it was probably a bit like a Jeremiah Masoli era, like that era would have been when they had a different helmet to
For
a
every
jersey
game.
with a pant. Like
Yeah.
they don't do that as much anymore. They're a little bit more traditional. But yeah, I'm fine with AZ because it's a basketball bracket.
Yeah.
All right, BYU, Montana.
I think it's got to be BYU.
Yep.
Go BYU, and then Vandy and Bama.
Bama.
This
is a chalky one. Duke, Bama. Duke.
You think Duke is the
And I
bigger
think
brand
Duke.
than Arizona?
I think Duke.
Yes.
Honestly, like if you do branding, I think like over the last of our lifetime, and we're significantly older than you, G-Man. I don't know that there's much in sport that has nailed it from a branding standpoint like Duke. I mean, it's just known. I mean, it's so known. So my favorite Arizona was when they had like the little cactus on the shorts.
Oh, yes.
With the little cactus, and it said Arizona, like the Sean Elliott.
That's Lute Olson.
So
that's peak
great.
Lute.
Yeah, that's great.
For
so,
sure.
but I think Duke is the winner there. And then what do you have on the bottom? You got BYU and Bama.
Yep.
I mean, BYU is it's not Bama, but it's a very strong
good
brand. It's a
yeah,
very
but I got Duke over Bama.
So then we got Duke over Bama?
Yeah.
So that takes us through the East region. Just
So
to
that
recap.
that is an exercise before we started. And the first thing that came to my mind was, does branding uniform equal success? And the reality is that it's the one.
That's
going to
be our chalkiest bracket
for sure. Yeah, this one.
Could be anything.
This could get really loose.
Yeah, this will go anywhere. So just to recap, our three Final Four teams are going to be North Carolina, Duke, and Texas Tech to this point.
God. Well, Duke can save us.
Duke can save us.
So,
by the way, everyone's going to pick Duke.
Yeah.
The Midwest region is. Where would you prefer to vacation?
Yes.
Okay.
So we start with Houston, Texas for the Houston Cougars, or Edwardsville, Illinois.
I've been to Edwardsville. It's a good time.
I'm going to go to Houston.
Houston.
I'm going to go to
Yes,
Houston.
Houston, thank you.
I'll take Houston there.
Athens, Georgia for the Bulldogs,
Athens, Georgia.
or is it
Spokane.
Spokane?
Here's
Washington?
the deal.
Yep.
You're going to go to Spokane, and you're
No,
going.
I am not.
Let me explain. You're going to go to Spokane, and then you're going to hit a driver over to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and you're going to go to stay at the Lake Coeur d'Alene Resort, and Google that, and then tell me if you still want to go to Athens. Google that.
I know Coeur d'Alene. I just got the island green. I know.
Have
all
you been
about
there?
it. I've never been there.
It's
beautiful.
Stunning.
How close is it?
It's right there.
Me personally, I'm on Spokane. I don't
Yeah.
think it's particularly close.
I mean, Athens is just a southern town.
How
it's
far?
a fun southern
how
town.
far are we
but it's a southern
from
town.
like Savannah?
Well, but you're in. I mean, it's much. I have to. I have
I just
to
like
think.
Georgia. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think it's Coeur d'Alene.
All right.
I think it's Spokane / Coeur d'Alene. I don't think it's particularly close.
Okay.
I've been to Athens. It's fine.
So-
It's a southern town.
That'll take us to Clemson, South Carolina, or McNeese, which is in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Holy hell!
I mean, it's called Lake Charles. I'm in. It sounds like
Got
a
him
lake.
water.
Got water.
That's Will Wade against his alma mater, by the way. For a little bit of
So are we going with McNeese here?
Yep.
McNeese State
McNeese.
Cowboys. Let's do it.
5-12,
Lake Charles, Louisiana. High Point.
West Lafayette, Indiana, Purdue, or High Point, North Carolina.
High Point.
High Point.
Which
High
is
Point.
Barstool had a thing on that said it's the best college campus in the country.
They have butlers in their dorms at High Point.
God bless them.
Good.
That's great. Fantastic. High Point. I know you spent some time in West Lafayette. I have too. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hospital I was born in does not even exist anymore. It is
Doesn't
a parking
surprise me.
lot for the other hospital,
Does not surprise.
ironically. So Illinois, which is in Champaign,
Champaign,
Urbana-Champaign.
Doesn't matter. Either one. I'll take either one. Austin or Cincinnati. I
You'll
take
take
either
Austin or
one.
Cincinnati?
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll just put Texas.
Texas / Xavier. Yeah.
All right, Lexington, Kentucky, or Troy, Alabama?
Lexington.
Landslide.
And
UCLA.
Los Angeles or Logan, Utah?
UCLA, and then Knoxville.
Wofford. Where's Wofford?
I think it's in Virginia. Let me double check.
Knoxville.
Knoxville's
a
fun.
good town.
I like
It's in
Knoxville.
Spartanburg, South Carolina. I lied. Wofford is
Spartanburg,
in
yeah,
Spartanburg,
give me
South
Knoxville.
Carolina, which is
Tennessee.
pretty far
Tennessee.
inland, I think.
Yeah, Tennessee. All right,
Alrighty.
Houston or Spokane? I mean,
Houston or Spokane?
does anybody go to Houston to recreate?
No.
I don't think they do.
Place sucks.
Give me some of the background.
he's got his opinions.
I got to go Gonzaga here.
All
if
right.
we're honest,
All
we
right.
got to.
High Point, North Carolina,
So
or
we've
Lake
got
Charles,
Gonzaga High
Louisiana?
Point coming to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, you
here.
got High Point's going to be there.
Yep. Kentucky. The bottom of this bracket could save us. Kentucky and UCLA.
Lexington or Cincinnati/Austin?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Oh yeah, it's like 30 miles from Lake Coeur d'Alene Resort from Spokane.
30 miles.
Knoxville or
That's
Los
easy.
Angeles?
How far are we from Savannah? Do Athens to Savannah, and Athens to Lake Oconee. Athens Lake Oconee is an hour. I know it because my wife did it in an ambulance. And by the way, we're at the Ritz at Lake Oconee. People go there to
58.
recreate.
Yeah, I think it's Coeur d'Alene's. I think it's still Coeur
Okay.
d'Alene. Yeah. And then
We
High
can only
Point-
be there at a certain time of the year, though.
Savannah to Athens is 4
Oh, we can vacation wherever we want.
Savannah to Athens, 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's that one. Yeah.
All right.
What are we doing down here? Lexington and then Athens/Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, Austin/Cincinnati.
Yes.
Kentucky.
I think Lexington. Lexington.
And then Los Angeles or Knoxville, Tennessee?
L.A.
That's what I said.
All right. So, Spokane, Washington, or High Point, North Carolina?
I think it's the Zags.
Jeez Louise.
Gonzaga it is. And then Lexington, Kentucky, or Los Angeles? Really depends on your lifestyle, I
It's
guess.
LA.
It's LA.
I mean, look at Lake Coeur d'Alene, dude. I mean, come on.
I know Lake Coeur d'Alene. I'm a big
Stunning.
fan.
Stunning.
So
All
our
right.
Final Four is going to be Duke, UCLA, UNC, and Texas Tech. That
We
would've
can't
been-
worry about it.
that'd been
Spokane
good.
or
That'd
UCLA?
have been good a long time ago.
Are we going UCLA for this?
Yes,
yeah,
UCLA.
LA.
All right.
Which, by the way, I think they're losing in round 1 to Utah State. So
I agree. Yeah.
that's going to do that in.
All right. So that
should
takes
we
us-
then apply all of them to each of them?
Correct. That takes us
Okay.
to our Final Four matchup. We'll do each matchup. We'll apply all 4 categories to the matchups,
And see
then
who.
to the national
All right,
championship.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So, would you host North Carolina Tar Heels daily or Texas Tech Red Raiders daily?
Carolina.
Carolina.
Carolina. Who wins in a fight, a
Red
Tar Heel
Raiders.
or a Red Raider?
Red Raider wins in a fight
Yep.
every time.
1-1. Better branding? It's got to be North Carolina.
Yep.
And would you rather vacation in Chapel Hill or Lubbock?
Chapel Hill.
Jeez Louise. UNC,
UNC
playing for
to the
title.
national championship.
From the 11 seed play into the national
Yes.
title.
Jeez Louise. They're the
Yeah, they
last
love
team
the
in.
chaos. They love the
Legit,
chaos.
legit the last team in.
Last team in. They're playing for the. By the way, they started the year preseason top 10, so it's not like they lack talent.
Yeah.
They don't. Like, this would not be nuts. This isn't like an 11 out of nowhere. Like, the reason is because their league was down this year, but they were
Yep.
13-7 in the ACC. So, like, and they have talent. RJ Davis is a dude.
It's happened before.
It's happened before.
All right. Duke, UCLA. Would you rather host Duke Blue Devils daily or UCLA Bruins daily?
Mick Cronin's a tough hang.
Oh, is he? Is he ever?
So, I'll take John Shire, and I'll hang with Duke.
Mascot fight,
I mean,
Blue Devil or
UCLA
Bruin?
daily?
Dude, Cronin that's a tough sell.
Oh, yeah.
Are you
it's
familiar
tough.
with him?
How often do? First of all, let's
He's
just
coming in.
let's bet. How often?
Played his meltdown a few months
Yeah.
How often?
We got guys
How
on this
often?
team
Dude,
that
we're
think
gonna
they're
say
way better than they are. That's
He's
a
gonna
direct
be,
quote.
Dude, all the tomfoolery you and I have, he's going to be yelling at us all the day. You represent UCLA.
Dude, we're
gonna have to
walking
be
right
doing
out
like
of there and right onto LACC.
You still might be okay. Don't worry. I think it might work out all right. But
So we're going Duke for Daily Show.
Conscientious objector.
So does a does a Bruin or a Blue Devil win in a
Blue
fight?
Devil.
is it even a real thing? Is a Blue Devil a real thing? A
No, it's
demon?
devil.
Yeah, it is a devil. All right.
A Bruin is like a
It's a bear.
It is a bear.
Yep.
But it's portrayed as a very
So their
genteel
uniform
bear.
and brandings are a wash, but I like UCLA's colors better.
Yes, and I want a vacation there. All right, now we need a tiebreaker.
So we're 2-2. What's our tiebreaker here?
I think in this case we just give ourselves a chance to have somebody that's actually in the Final Four win the thing, so we go with Duke.
Duke goes in.
I was going to say I could just tie break it for you and tell you Duke, but
Duke. Yeah.
And Duke wins.
By the way, last year UCLA played North Carolina in the NCAA tournament, and
think
it
you're
was
right.
stunning
Yep.
visually.
Yeah,
Stunning.
it's beautiful.
So,
All right, so then daily shows.
of course, we're at North Carolina and Duke
Playing
for our
the
national
title.
championship.
Good Lord.
One of sports' oldest rivalries.
Yep. It's a good one.
UNC Tar Heels daily, Duke Blue Devils daily. Where are you at?
Tar Heels.
1-0 to the Tar Heels.
Your competitive juices cannot stand what's going to happen here.
No, but why would you rather host Carolina Tar Heels Daily right now than Duke? We get to talk about Cooper Flagg.
He's gone in a month.
It's very exciting. Beatbox
I
is
got
an
Jordan walking
Beatbox
through.
is an alum.
Jordan walking through.
Christian Leitner, who
Giving
I've
us
heard-
gear.
I have
He's
no
got
people
Jordan
who say that he's a
Your
he's a
counter,
great guest.
your counter to Jordan walking through, with all due respect, cannot be Christian Leitner.
All right, fine. UNC. We're really picking UNC to win this whole thing.
We're
That's
not
what's
picking
happening.
them. We're being loyal to the contest.
All right.
1-0
Carolina's
to
got
UNC.
daily shows. Mascot fight.
Mascot fight. Duke.
Hey, it's a devil. Thank goodness. Sanity.
Uniforms and branding. Carolina Duke.
I mean, Carolina's a.
By the way, Duke has their own wing at Nike. So before we go talking about the Jordan brand,
My guess is North Carolina does too. It's probably just in the Jordan wing. Would be my guess.
allegedly, maybe Jordan's brand is more.
I think Carolina's unis are better.
So we're going Carolina branding. And would you rather vacation in Durham
It's
or
the
Chapel
same.
Hill?
They're 10 miles apart.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Well, you could
Doesn't
at least
matter.
watch some AAA baseball down in Durham.
You just want to go Duke so we have a chance?
We have a chance. We cannot have UNC winning this whole thing.
They could make a run.
Could make a run, baby. All right, fine.
All right. National
Duke wins it.
champions. The Duke Blue Devils.
If we get 2 of the Final 4 correct, that'll be a major accomplishment.
What'll be fun is so what did you end up in your real one that you did?
So your Final Four was North Carolina, Texas Tech, Duke, and UCLA.
Yeah.
Mine is Louisville, Florida, Alabama, and Gonzaga.
Oh wow, so you have the Zags going a long ways.
I do, yeah. So notable ones that we ended up
Who
agreeing
did you have
on.
out of the East?
Out of the East, I had Bama.
Oh, Bama. Okay. What did what Dr. J have? Did he do his?
What do you got?
Dr. J, what's your Final Four?
Dr. J.
He's got Duke out of the East.
He's got Duke, and then who else? Who's the rest of his
Who's
Final
your
Four?
Final Four? Duke, Houston, St. John's, and UNC.
So he's got Carolina too.
Yep. I have Carolina in the Elite Eight. I have them losing to Louisville in the Elite Eight. That's an 8-11.
They're going to make a run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
You
can
know-
also get bounced by the great Ole Miss.
They could. Chris Beer there, good coach. One of the things I think is really cool that the NCAA does when they do these brackets is stuff like what they're doing at the bottom of the West region, where it's Bill Self versus John Calipari to play Rick Pitino.
Like that.
That's awesome.
I like that. How's
know for sure
Kansas
yet.
so down?
What's that?
How's Kansas?
You think
so
St.
down?
John's will lose to Omaha?
No.
No. Kansas got a weird roster this year. Just kind of a weird roster.
I also have Kansas in the Elite Eight.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they certainly have. I mean, again, weren't they preseason number 1? I think Kansas was preseason number 1.
Yeah.
There's some other cool ones out there, like you would potentially get an old Pac-10 matchup of Oregon and Arizona in round 2. Those were fun
you will
rivals
get
through the
that,
years,
yeah.
so I think you will get that one. I think that's pretty cool out there that they try to do those type of things. I mentioned Will Wade, who's the coach at McNeese State, playing Clemson, which is his alma mater. So they do
Where are
a
you
good
pulling
job.
these names from?
What do you think I do here? What do you think? I mean,
This guy's a real ball knower, dude.
I'm allergic to the college athletics.
Did you just drop the head coach of McNeese State? Is
That's
that
right.
what you just did?
That's right.
Yeah, that's not necessarily it.
You get another one that's kind of nice is you get a Ricky Pitino Jr. against Marquette, so that would mean he would have his dad's scouting of St. John's. They're both in the Big East.
Oh, hey now.
I know.
So you get a little bit of that there.
By the way,
which is
I mean,
nice.
we saw St. John's live. I wasn't all that impressed with them.
That's
I don't know
college
if can
basketball.
anybody score in college. Are there teams that like have
Oh yeah,
real
Houston,
Florida.
Florida. Yeah.
we tried to throw a gator out for by the way, as
We
we
couldn't
talked
worry
through it
about
more,
it.
hold on, we weren't worried about it. But can I ask a question for you guys? This is like real as I really tried diving this. Number one, it's played on the Gators' home turf. They're the 1 seed, so it's in a swamp. Number two, what level of Spartan do you have to be relegated to be the Spartan at Norfolk State? To me, that
This is
is
a
like
great question
the
out of
people
you.
that are they're kicked out of. They're like, you're not really a Spartan, but they're like Spartans by
these-
like birth, but not by action.
So if you're saying like the elite Spartans that were like at Thermopylae, those guys are at Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
This
lower
is
level
like,
Spartan.
This is a lower level Spartan. This is like when Rhode Island was the penal
You won,
colony.
though. You did get what you want.
Yeah, I did. Well, not for long.
You're okay.
Not for long. They got
The
shot
Sooners
by the
got 'em.
Sooners in the back of their
All right.
carriages.
It happens. So much more
On
to
the
come.
Oregon Trail.
Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Hi.
All right, there you go. We did it. Carolina Duke final. Duke winning. That'd be everything Gibby wants.
No, that'd be amazing.
Everything you'd want.
Peak Gibbe.
Yeah. There you go.
Gibbe
see
getting
how it
ready
holds
to
up.
put on his hosting shoes.
All right.
Oh, man. Now, Gibbe, you're
I'll
not going to
see
be able
you
to.
boys on the other side.
You need to promote my joy now.
Give yourself time.
I know.
Keep a
Yeah,
level
yeah.
The
head.
more I think
keep
about
the
it.
I
heart
agree with
rate
this.
where it needs to be.
I think I got to come up
Don't
with
let
an
it get the
alternative.
best of you.
I think you just
got
have
this.
yourself as the backup.
30.
I'm the backup,
30.
and I got to push off by 5:05.
Yeah.
I like that. I'd like that better than 5:15.
Yeah. I think that might be
So what? You get there early. Yeah, you have
fine.
kids.
I always
It's a
tell my
wild
wife,
card.
like, what difference is another? If you're getting up at 4 o'clock, what's the difference? 4 o'clock, 4:30, it's all the same. You're tired.
Correct. Let's just get there, get to the gate, and let's go.
All right. Next Level's coming up next. We are back tomorrow. Thanks for listening, buddy. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.